All right. Hey, so we're talking about taxes. It's tax season. We're going around talking about how to pay less taxes. Today, we're going to talk about things you can do so that you get your taxes quickly and correctly, right? So talk about that in a minute. Hey there, this is KG. I'm a realtor with Fairfax Realty in Greenbelt, where we help buyers to buy their dream home and sellers to sell their houses. And we do this in the Maryland, DC, Virginia region. So if you're looking to buy, sell, move, or invest in real estate, contact us below. We'll take care of you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get updates once we upload a new video. So tax season, we're dealing with taxes. And today, Zoe is back. Zoe, say hi, Zoe.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Good. So Zoe is an accountant, a CPA, and deals with taxes. So Zoe, today, do people make mistakes in their taxes?
All the time. All the time.
All the time. Okay. What can those mistakes cost people when they make mistake on their taxes? Can it cost them money, time?
They cost you time, they cost you money, they cost you peace of mind, and they cost you, just inconvenience.
Inconvenience.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking at it, we want to talk about the top 10 mistakes to avoid your taxes. So 10. Number one, Zoe.
10. So I got number one. Number one is top mistake is not keeping copies of your old records. I can't tell you how many times that we get into preparing someone's return and realize that we don't have their prior year tax return. And then that prior year tax return is key to finishing the current return. Too often people don't really realize how sometimes the effects of last year carry over to the current year. And so if you don't keep that information, then you kind of handcuff your accountant's ability to pay your return.
All right. One. Two.
Number two, incorrect bank account numbers. That would be seem so obvious, right? Like, why would I make that incorrect? But you got to verify that your bank account and routing number is correct. Else your refunds, if you're eligible for a refund, is going to be caught in limbo. And when the IRS has limbo, then you don't know what's going to happen, and time is wasted.
Okay, so the best way to actually avoid that would be to get your check out if you have checks, right?
Get your check, look at the check number, open up your bank statement, verify it, make sure you verify it, get your friend to verify it. And then you can also, when you send it to your tax preparer, you also can send a copy of like a bank statement that also has that number on there, so that everybody's on the same page. You don't want to mess that up.
Okay, good. Third one.
Number three is inaccurate social security number. Right, this is super obvious, again, just like your bank statements, but this one is even more serious because you're dealing with your identity, the whole overall self. Right, the IRS has recently been taking measures to crack down on identity theft, and one of those ways is just verifying social security numbers and doing other measures on how to secure your identity. So don't mistakenly write someone else's social security number on your tax return, because that can just be a whole mess. So you always want to verify that.
Somebody would do that mistakenly?
Yeah, you mistakenly, like fat finger input. You have now you're instead of you being KG, you're Betty Johnson who lives in Minnesota.
Okay. Fourth one.
Number four is not completing the tax organizers provided by your CPA. Now, if you have a prudent tax preparer, they're going to send you like a questionnaire per se, just to collect your information, right? And so you need to complete that organizer or questionnaire all the way through the entirety, because it does two things. It allows the tax preparer to be accurate and complete. So if you don't complete it, then we don't know if there's information that you're intentionally omitting or not omitting. And these are important questions that need to be answered through your tax return. And it's better to do this the first time around to eliminate the back and forth questions that may arise.
Right. Number five.
Number five, we're talking not filing on time, and this includes any extensions that you expect. Too many times people don't respect the tax deadline. You
They
gotta, you
don't?
gotta, you gotta respect it, right?
Mm.
There's actually two penalties that you can face, and they both have a filing fee and then interest taxed onto those penalties. Is the one that is the non-filing penalty, and
Mm.
then the late payment penalties, right?
Ah,
You gotta keep in mind. So if you don't file, and then at the end of the day you realize that you owe taxes, not only are you going to be penalized for not filing on time, but
mm.
also for not paying on time. And that can be a double whammy. So even if you don't have the money to pay, at least file it on time, or at
Okay,
least file your extension. Now,
okay.
and then one thing to keep in mind is that if you filed an extension, and file your extension on time. If you know you're not going to meet April 15th or whatever deadline, file your extension at least on time. It's so short and easy to do.
Mm.
But even if you know that if you know that you're going to file your extension, one thing you need to keep in mind is that payments are not extended.
So if you file extension, your taxes are
Yeah,
still due.
exactly. Your tax is still due on that due date, even though your filing has been extended. So interest is going to continue to accrue during that period. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. 6.
Number 6, not starting early. Not starting early. So too many times we get into this habit of just procrastinating, waiting until the last minute is not a good idea, especially as you continue to progress and advance. Your tax situation is going to get more and more complex.
Mhm.
So you always need to, okay, it's January. Maybe I should make a list of the things that I need to keep an eye out. Maybe I need to make sure that nobody's throwing away the mail. Maybe I'm keeping track of my emails to make sure that I'm on top of those things.
Mm.
Too oftentimes people start late and then find themselves pushing up against that deadline. And when that deadline is there, you can't you can't move it, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm in that category. Number 7.
Well, number 7 is not including all your documentation at the start, right? So this is a part of getting starting early, right? So when I say at the start, I'm talking about at the start of when you meet with your tax professional.
Mhm.
Depending on their process on how they're going to prepare your returns, that would depend on how they receive. Now, I can speak for myself, right? I
Mhm.
have onboarding calls with all of my clients at the very beginning in January, early on, so that they're in the mindset of gathering all their documents. They also know the process that once they get their documents, there's a secure portal that they go to, they log into, and they upload it as they go. Now,
Ah.
there's when they complete my tax questionnaire, my tax organizer,
Mhm.
that indicates to us that everything is complete, because the tax organizer also acts as a checklist. There's
Okay.
items that say, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And so if they look through it and they've completed all of it and they uploaded it, then we begin.
Okay.
So because we don't like to start preparing the return and realize, oh, we don't have this from you. Can you get this? Can you get that? So it's a good idea to gather everything together and send it based on the process.
Okay. Okay. So but then some people don't have their CPA don't do onboarding. What should
Yeah, and that can cause inefficiency in time, right?
Mhm.
As to prepare my job, I want you to be comfortable in your tax season, to be efficient, effective, and not to be a headache. And so if we just do things in the right process early on, and you know exactly what to do when you gather your information, it kind of makes everyone's life easier.
Okay. So on that, before I go to the next one, do you do that for clients every year, even though their situation may not be different?
Yeah, for clients so the onboarding calls are like a 10-minute conversation,
Okay.
right? For returning clients, it's like 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like, okay, did anything really change? Anything updated? And they say no, then it's like, okay, process is still the same. I'm going to send you over. Just send everything like last year, engagement letter, partial invoice, and then you just start uploading everything. It's just almost like a catch-up call. Hey, how you doing? Haven't
Mhm.
spoken to you in a while.
Mhm.
What changed? And
Okay.
then if nothing changed, then it's smooth sailing from there.
Okay. Number 8.
Number 8, not reviewing your tax return. you
Accountant, why do I need to review it?
You need to review it because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your tax return, right?
Okay.
At the end of the day, you are you and I am me, and I actually don't live in your life, right? So I may have an assumption of details based on my experience and what I can expect, but in terms of 100% accuracy, we need to rely on you to do so. And so when we prepare your return based on what you've given us, you might point out a point. You might make a note and say, "Oh, you forgot this. Oh, I didn't tell you about this. Oh, we didn't include this." And so you need to review your return just for the simple fact that you know what's going on, right? My job is not only to prepare, but to inform you, okay, this is what is happening so that you're just not in the dark.
Well, I just want to say the money I'm getting.
Yeah. Well, you can do that, but we like to coach our clients to be better managers of their money, and taxes are included. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9, not implementing advice from previous years. Right?
That's a good one, right?
Yeah, that's a very good one. And this can overlap into a lot of different things that we do in our life, not even just taxes, but tax in particular. Your current year taxes are only going to be as good as what you do at the beginning of the year or throughout the year. Okay. And so you may hear that tax planning is the much more effective than tax preparation, because it's true. You can really only affect your tax return if you do the things during the year. And so I like to give nuggets and tips and advice for clients so that they can hold on to it and make changes throughout the year. And so if you don't implement those, you might be in the same situation like you were last year, and we're having the same conversations about this is why you
not getting any money.
Yeah. And so, and you don't realize, because those tips are the magic. There's a misconception that at the end of the year, your CPA can make magic. No, magic is made at the beginning and during the year.
Okay. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Number 10.
And number 10, not prioritizing accounting and financial statement preparation. Now this, in big words, is record keeping. Right. I mean, in layman words, is record keeping. But this number 10 is targeted towards our business owners primarily. Okay. Right. Our business owners who own businesses need to prioritize their financial statements, tracking their income, tracking their expenses, so that when tax season comes, it's a simple process to prepare your return, because that information is needed. And too often, I work with owners who haven't done anything all year, and then now they require us to go back, clean up their books, prepare their financial statements, and that's going to increase the cost of your return. And so
as a business owner, I just want to deal with the business I am doing. I don't have time for accounting.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that I actually understand those sentiments. But the risk and the cost outweigh the reward, right? It's a necessary task for any business. Do you want, the question is, do you want to grow, or do you always want to be administratively handicapped? You got to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right. So these 10 mistakes can really do what to your taxes?
These 10 mistakes can cause you to pay more in taxes, can cause you to have totally unnecessary complications with the IRS.
Oh God, right? Who wants that?
No one. And it will waste so much of your time, right? You just mentioned how you want to focus just on your business. The thing is, when you have administrative handicaps or mistakes in your taxes like this, they hamper your ability to essentially do what you want to do, which is run the business. Right? You don't want to be in July, August, October thinking about how am I supposed to figure out 2020 the previous year taxes, when you're supposed to be figuring out how am I going to make some money for your business.
For the business. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we round up this 10 mistakes to avoid, I actually want to talk about tax planning because that's one of the things that you talked about, tax planning. What is that all about? If I
So
have,
yes,
go ahead.
yeah, so tax planning, all it is really strategic forecasting, looking to the future based on what we have today. What are your goals, what you want to accomplish in this next year and the year after that, maybe in 5 years? And then what's a tax plan? What is the implications of the things that you want to do? And how can you do it in a tax efficient way?
Okay,
Right. And so that may include like maybe I want to buy some equipment for my business.
okay,
Are there things I need to consider from a tax perspective? When should I buy that? Should I purchase it on a payment plan? Should I purchase it all outright? Am I looking to purchase a primary home or a rental property? How is that going to affect my taxes in the future? So that's the idea of the tax planning, just because you cannot make magic at the end of the year. You have to do it during the year or at the beginning of the year.
at the beginning of the year for the next year. All right, so thank you. So everybody, if you want to pay less taxes, everybody wants to pay less taxes.
Mhm.
Check out these mistakes and avoid them. So give us your contact information again.
All right, thanks for everybody. My name is Zopia Alumase again, owner of Alumase Accounting and Consulting. You can find us at alumaseac.com. You can find me on Instagram at zo.kpia. You can find me everywhere. Type in Zopia on Google, and I bet you I'm the only one that comes up.
Zopia, Z-O.
KPIA.
Is the only one. All right. So listen, if you're looking to buy, sell real estate or invest in real estate, contact us below. We'll take care of you. If you're looking to avoid all this tax mistake, contact Zoe to take care of you. Until next time, we'll talk about something else in taxes. Ciao.